This is A Sight for Sore Eyes, and my name's Ron, and I'm glad you're here. You know, in the spring of 1999, I'd been out of work, or I was between jobs, I guess you could say. I'd been that way for a couple years, and so I was thankful one day when my brother called me. He lives in Yakima, Washington. He's a contractor down there. He called me and asked me if I'd think about coming down and giving him a hand for the summer. He was pretty busy and needed some help, and him and I worked together a lot when we were younger, and we get along pretty good, and we worked well together. And I told him, I said, yeah, let me think about it. Yeah, I'll come down. Because I was getting tired of standing and looking out the window at the mountains. So a couple of days later, I said goodbye to my wife and my kids and my grandson and hopped on that old jet airplane and flew to Yakima, Washington. It was hot down there. It felt good. A lot warmer than it was here in Wasilla, Alaska. And we got right to work. I mean, he was right. He had a lot of stuff to get done. Houses and kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, stuff like that. And so, yeah, we jumped right in there and got busy. I got there on a Saturday, and Monday morning we were off to work. It was fun. We enjoyed it, and I enjoyed being down there with him and his wife and their kids and grandkids. Well, I don't think he had any grandkids back then. Maybe it's just his girls, I guess. Anyway, and so we worked hard, and usually at lunch, if we were close to Costco, that's where we would go, and he'd grab us a hot dog or two and a soft drink and sit at a table and talk a little bit and eat our lunch, enjoy it, just relax. What's what you're supposed to do on your lunchtime. And then if we had any time, we'd get up and walk around the store just a little bit, just looking at stuff. And we seemed like we were always ending up at the camera, at the photo section, the camera and photos section. And at 1999 is probably about the year that digital cameras started showing up on shelves in stores, and you would read about them all the time. And so we started seeing these digital cameras, and we'd stop and look at them. Larry likes to take pictures. He likes the little cameras, the little ones that you can put in your pocket. But anyway, and of course I'd like the bigger ones myself. And so we would look at them, and he was always ask me. So he'd always ask if I like this one or that one, or what I like about this one, or and like he was thinking about getting one. And so I tried to help him all I could, and the summer went by real quickly, seemed like, and all of a sudden it's August, and I got just a couple more weeks, and we went to Costco and sitting there, and we got up and looked at the cameras again, just like always, and he said, "You ever seen anything here that you would like?" And I said, "Not really. I haven't looked that much for me." He said, "I haven't bought one yet." He said, "I'm just trying to figure out which one to get." And he said, "What one would you get?" Well, there was one I'd been looking at, a pretty expensive camera, of course. And I said, "Well, Larry, if I had the money, I'd show you what I'd get, because I really, really liked this camera right here." And I brought him over and showed it to him. And I don't know. It was a nice camera. I liked it. And he looked at it and picked it up and looked around. It was chained down and everything, but he looked it over and said, "Oh, that's interesting." And so we went back to work. And then about 3 weeks later, it was time to go. It was a Saturday. I was going to fly out in the afternoon and get home, get to Anchorage at, I don't know, midnight or 1 o'clock or something like that. So I'm sitting there. I got my bag all packed and everything, and Larry had stepped out for a little bit, and then he comes into the living room, and he's got this bag. He says, "Here," he said, "I want you to look at this for me, would you?" And I said, "Yeah, what is it?" He says, "Oh, I picked up a little camera." And I said, "Oh, yeah, let me look at it, see what you got there." So I opened the bag and pulled out the box, and there's a box with a picture of the camera that I told him I would buy if I wanted to. I said, "Well, you got the one I liked." He said, "Yeah, I did." I said, "Gosh, Larry, that's going to be a nice camera for you." And he said, "Well, honestly, it's for you." What? What'd you say? He said, "You've worked for me all summer. I haven't paid you anything at all. You've worked hard, and I feel like I want to, this is how I'm going to pay you. So I bought this camera for you." I was speechless. Of course I was. And I didn't know what to say besides thanks. So I did. Anyway, that's how I got this camera we're going to look at here. My brother bought it for me for a summer's work and really surprised me. I took it home, and I've taken a lot of pictures with this camera, and it's old school now, an old school digital camera, but boy, did I enjoy it in the first 3 or 4 years. I really did. So here it is. This is the camera that my brother bought for me. This is the exact camera. This is a SONY DSC-D770 Cyber-shot PRO camera. Great little camera, holy cow. Of course, it's pretty primitive, I guess, by today's standards. But it's still got nice little style to it, nice grip, zoom lens, and it's SLR. You look through the lens when you focus and compose. You look through the lens on this one. You don't look at a viewfinder or a digital image or anything like that. And holy cow, it was such a pleasant surprise. This is my very first digital camera. This is what got me going into digital right here. It's a great little camera, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more here in a little bit. I just wanted to show it to you, and I'll show you, the batteries and everything like that. But in 2002, I think it was in March of 2003. It was March of 2003 or 2, I can't remember. Anyway, my wife's clinic, where she works, sponsored a trip for their employees to Hawaii, to the Big Island in Hawaii. And they paid the way for all their employees. If the spouses wanted to go, they had to pay their own way, which is only fair. And so we did that. There was a big group of us went over there. We spent 10 days over there. And boy, it was nice. I believe that was the first time I'd ever been to Hawaii on that trip. And I took my SONY D770 with me. That was the camera I took. I didn't take a film camera. I took the SONY D770, and that was it. And I took a good amount of photographs on that trip, and I've kept them. I've kept the files here, and I'm going to show it to you. Keep in mind, these pictures are 1 or 1.5 megapixel pictures. It's just tiny files, but I used it, and I used it a lot over there. And so right now, before I go any further here, I'm going to show you, I think I got 20 of them, 20 of these pictures. So I want to show them to you, and then we'll come back here, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the camera. So yeah, let's take a look at those pictures. Let's go. Well, what you think? I think they're pretty nice for a one megapixel image. Yeah. I enjoyed looking at them this morning when I was going through them for this video. It was fun. Remember the good times we had then. So on the D770, I've showed it to you, but so it takes what we got. So here we have a video input, a little jack here. Or no, video out. That's what I'm sorry. I'm not input on this one. Video out. And I don't know what that's for actually. Anyway, we got a video out, and then here on this door opens right here. This is where the memory card goes, and that there's a little slot right there. Now, it came this is what well. So this is a Sony memory stick. This might be the one that came with this camera. I don't know. But anyway, that's what they take. But you can't use it just straight in the camera as far as I can remember. You need one of these adapters right here. So you just slide this memory stick in, right like that, push it in. Then the whole unit goes in, and it's got pinholes right here. It goes into the electrical pins inside here. So you push it in, then this is kind of hard to show you, but see, you push it in. Okay, you go in like this, you just push it in and it pops. You can feel it, it locks in. And then there's a button down here, you just push and it pops back out again, and you pull it out. And if you had a card reader that read memory sticks, you could just put the memory stick right in that card reader. Also, it would take these things, these guys right here. This is the same basic thing, except this one takes compact flash. I used this one more than I did a memory stick. This one here is a 128 megabyte card, and I used it all the time. Had plenty of room on it for these pictures. Anyway, so yeah, it had you could use two different cards in it, only one at a time, but there was two options available. You had the memory stick or the compact flash. All you had to do for the compact flash was buy this little adapter. It didn't come with the camera, it was optional. Also, came with a charger. This is the battery that this camera takes, pretty good sized battery. This one still charges. I've had it charged up recently, and it still takes a charge. It's after 20 years or more. Sadly, though, this camera, I can't get it to work. I mean, the lights will come on, I'll charge the battery, turn it on, it looks like it's going to work, but it stalls, and I can't get it to do anything but have the little LCD screen. See that little LCD screen? That's what lights up there when you're making your adjustments and everything on it. So it's got this is a hot shoe here. I never used a flash on it. It does have a built-in flash right there. Pretty good little flash too. I used that quite a bit. Just pop it up like you do normal. It may not normal, but today's camera is the same thing. Yeah, but I wish I could get this going. I mean, I probably could. I'd have to send it out, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth a lot. I mean, cost a lot more than this camera's worth at this point, anyway. But it's a cute camera, and it's very nice to hold. This was such a comfortable camera for me. I think when I was looking at it at Costco, that's what That's what drew me to it. It was so comfortable. And plus the fact that it was SLR, you just look right through that old lens like this, and holy cow, it's so nice. Got a little eyepiece cover there, and yep, there you are. Anyway, that's a good camera. I took some, you know, all right pictures with it too. In fact, I'm gonna run some pictures through here that I took today, and I'm gonna read you the specs. And as I'm reading them, well, these pictures close-ups of this camera that I took this morning, I'm gonna run those through the video here. So let's start that right about now. So this is a SONY DSC-D770, introduced June 20th of 1999. Maximum resolution is 1344 by 1024. Effective pixels are 1 megapixel, according to the source that I found. Sensor size 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch sensor. It's got a CCD sensor, which that's a good thing, the CCD. ISO availability is ISO 50, ISO 100, and ISO 400. Equivalent focal length, comparing it to 35 millimeter, is 28 millimeter to 140 millimeter on the zoom lens. The maximum aperture is f2 to f2.4. The screen size is 2.5 inches. The maximum shutter speed now is 1/2000th of a second. That's not bad, 2/2000ths. And the weight is 1.98 pounds. And the dimensions are 5.12 inches by 3.94 inches by 5.91 inches. So here's the interesting part. Back there in 1999, the suggested retail price for this camera, this 1 megapixel camera, was $1,900. That was the suggested retail price for a 1 megapixel camera. Woo, man. So that's my story on that camera. And also, as usual, I picked one of the pictures that we watched there, and I printed it. Now, I didn't do 12 by 18 like I normally do, because, I mean, I could have, but I don't think it would have been that great of a picture. I did I think it's 8 by 10.5 or something like that. Anyway, of one of the pictures we looked at there. And so here it is. This is my wife and one of our friends, and this is in Hawaii. So this picture, the specs on this is I used 1/50th of a second, f2.4, ISO 100, 640 by 480 at 72 pixels per inch. 72, okay? So when I enlarged it today, I enlarged it to 10.66 by 8. And when I did that, it dropped the pixel count down to 60 pixels per inch. It looks pretty good. I think it looks great. It's a good clear picture. 8 by 10s are very, very possible with this camera. I don't think I'd go much more than that, but 8 by 10 came out swell. So there you go. That's my little talk about the SONY D770 DSLR camera. I'm glad I have it. I just wished it worked. I would really shoot it again if it worked, but it doesn't. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I kind of had fun doing it. I'll probably put that camera up on the shelf and just look at it for a while. But anyway, So have a good weekend. Have a very nice Easter. If you know, and I hope you guys. I want you to all stay safe. Get your cameras out and get out there, you guys, and go take some pictures. Don't matter what they are, just go take some and have fun. Alrighty. See you next time. Bye.